This is how you can manipulate situations by understanding the Ikea effect. This gorgeous girl accepted a date with a rich and a broke guy. In her date with the rich guy, they have a great time, and in her date with the broke guy, it's complicated. Surprisingly, she chooses the broke guy over the rich guy. The rich guy doesn't understand what's going, and neither does the brokey. He doesn't know he used a psychological manipulation trick known as the Ikea effect. So, how did each date go? Her date with the rich guy is how you'd picture it. They picked her up in a limo with a chauffeur and opened the door for her. They went to an expensive restaurant with a reserved table waiting for them. They ordered champagne and various entrees. They talked and laughed. The rich guy turned out to be a gentleman and treated her like a queen. She didn't have to lift a finger and had a great time. When they dropped her off at home, she texted the rich guy to say, "Thank you for the date, I had a great time," and yet she still chose the broke guy. So, what happened in the other date? The brokey is middle class, but he had an emergency and ran out of money. He picked her up and told her the truth. "I don't have money, but let's go downtown and I'll play the guitar while you help me collect money and we'll have dinner with our earnings." I know a lot of women would run away. However, this girl was both pretty and understanding, so she accepted the adventure. While in downtown they had no luck. It rained a bit. An officer gave them a ticket and they barely made $10. Looking back at it, she didn't understand what had happened. She still doesn't know why she chose the brokey. Objectively, she didn't enjoy working downtown, and she did enjoy being spoiled by the rich guy. But it'll all make sense with the Ikea effect and the mystery of the $10 dinner. Now let's talk about Ikea. They make furniture with okay quality. It is not bad and they are not ugly, but they are not good either. If you see an Ikea table at a friend's house and they ask you to rate it from 1 to 10, you would look at the quality and say 7. Now, if we ask your friend how much he likes it, he would rate it a 9 or a 10, according to a Harvard study. Now, who is right? You are right, the table is not very good. But why is your friend confused? What happens is that Ikea furniture has to be assembled by you. It isn't very difficult, but you do have to invest an hour or two depending on how dumb you are. And while the majority of people don't enjoy assembling the furniture, they feel accomplished when they finish it. You look at the furniture objectively, but they have a deeper connection to the thing because they put in the work. And you may now be wondering what happened in that $10 dinner that made the pretty girl fall in love. The Ikea effect is so effective that marketers had to study it. Let me tell you a funny story that shows the Ikea effect. When instant cakes first went on sale, it was an awesome product. You would add water to the mix, put it in the microwave, and you would get a delicious cake. The weird thing is that no one wanted to buy it. They wondered why. The flavor was good, the price was fair, but it turned out that they were too easy to make. Part of the pleasure of baking a cake is serving it your guests and saying, "This is my masterpiece." But no woman felt proud of baking an instant cake. They felt like they were showing off cooking an instant meal. What the company had to do was to completely remove the eggs and milk. That way the cake would be harder to make, and women would feel prouder. Now that they had to mix in the egg and the milk and perhaps decorate the cake with a fruit, now it felt like their masterpiece. The same way your friend fell in love with his furniture because he built it. Victims of the Ikea effect. The Ikea effect is a cognitive bias in which you value something more because you put effort into it. Now let's rewind. What happened to this girl? Whom, after going to a French restaurant in a beautiful limousine in which she was treated like an absolute queen. While not having to lift a finger, she chose the brokey, with whom she went to get tacos and had to share a soda because they only had $10. What happened is that in her date with the rich guy, she felt like an outsider. They effortlessly gave her everything. Of course she likes the French restaurant, but no French meal tastes as good as the tacos that you earned by working and sweating hard. The brokey, without realizing it, uses the Ikea effect all the time. For example, when he is depressed and has a problem, he tells her and allows her to be part of it with her ideas, leading to her feeling included when the problem is solved, sharing the joy with the broke guy because she feels included. Or, for example, the broke guy does not have a mansion like the rich guy, but one Saturday afternoon he invited her over, and together they painted his room. She even painted a butterfly and wrote a romantic poem in Spanish. They then went to a shop and bought plants to decorate the room. And truth be told, you or I walked in the room, we would not be amazed. But it is different for her. She is blinded because it is hers. She sees it as her creation. The broke guy uses the Ikea effect, making her part of his life, while the rich guy gave her everything effortlessly. And while she obviously enjoys a comfortable life, she feels like a team with the broke guy.